Welcome to this live stream of Bloons Tower Defense 6. I'm going to be speedrunning the All True Expert Chimps category. So Bloons Tower Defense 6 is an extremely popular tower defense game where you have these balloons that come on screen and you have to pop them with these monkey towers. There are a bunch of maps that you can do this on, so there's 82 of them in fact as of this update. They're all segmented between beginner, intermediate, advanced, and expert. Among these expert maps, there are actually 4 that are considered to be the hardest, which we call true experts. So those 4 being Ravine, Bloody Puddles, Quad, and hashtag Ouch. So what we're going to do is we're going to play all 4 of these maps in this run, and specifically we're going to play the Chimps medal. So Chimps is widely considered to be the hardest game mode, at least among these regular maps. Because you're not able, you start on round 6, you need to get to round 100. You're not able to sell, you're not able to lose any lives, you can't use powers or insta monkeys, and you're not able to make money or make extra money. So it'll be a doozy, and we're gonna do this hardest game mode on the 4 hardest maps in the game. So we'll have a lot of fun. So timing's gonna start when I click on this Chimps badge. So 3, 2, 1, start. So you might be asking, wait, so isn't this a tower defense game? Isn't this an auto scroller? And there are certain auto scroller, it's call it like auto scroller adjacent, because each round the balloons do take a fixed amount of time to spawn in, but they do not take a fixed amount of time to pop, and you aren't able to advance the next round until all of the balloons in the previous round have been popped. So technically it's not actually an auto scroller because you can control how fast things go. So what we're doing here is the balloons also kind of get stronger and stronger as you go on, as like would be the case in a tower defense game. And what we're doing now is we're going to basically place down these towers to try to get through the early game. And what we're doing now is we're going to try to save up for our heroes. So we bought like an upgrade here. So as you kind of pop balloons, you make money. Oh, whoops. But and then you can use that to buy upgrades. But we're going to try to get down what's called a hero. The hero is a little bit different. You can buy upgrades to it, but it'll also upgrade itself automatically. So the hero is actually like extremely good value for its price. This hero we have is Etienne. Etienne is a drone operator. He has these drones that do damage to balloons that they fly around. A little inconsistently, but that's okay. And then heroes, so one thing is they have these abilities, so you can, in addition to just placing things down, you can click on this ability, which basically temporarily makes your heroes stronger or your towers stronger. So in this case, Etienne's ability will create more drones that will do more damage, which is nice. So we can use that kind of on tougher rounds in order to survive. And then in the meantime, we can use that to save up money and upgrade our other towers. So right now we're trying to sort of solidify our early game. Oh, I was supposed to use an ability there, I think. So our early game is going to be this submarine, which is pretty strong. We're going to use this submarine on almost every one of these maps. It's pretty good. So Etienne, there are 2 other main characteristics about Etienne that are very nice. So one is that there's a certain type of balloon that shows up called a camo balloon, or it's a certain property of a balloon where towers aren't able to actually see them normally without camo detection. And Etienne at a certain level can see camo balloons and can also give every tower in the map camo detection, which is not common. No other tower does that. But that's not really the reason why we're going to use him here. The other thing that he does is he increases the range of towers that are within Etienne's range. That's actually a very, very nice thing. There's one tower in particular that we're going to be using that it's going to really benefit from that increased range. Hello, Omega and Mr. Prime. How are you doing? So, yeah, so that's that, and so our early game, we're going to get this boomerang here. This boomerang's kind of fun. It throws this called a glaive that bounces across all these balloons. Pretty cool. And then the sub. So in the early game, when I say early game, what that means is basically from round 6 to round 40 is the early game, and round 40 is a pretty big difficulty spike. Because right now you have these kind of regular balloons. The strongest regular balloon would be like the ceramic, which takes a lot of hits to actually pop down. But then we're gonna get blimps on a blimp on round 40, which takes much more. It has much higher HP than the ceramics, and it has ceramics inside of it as well. So, but with the towers that we have, we'll actually do a pretty admirable job of handling that. So now we'll get a. Oops. Yeah. All right, so now that we've gotten through the early game, rounds 41 through 49 are generally easier. Well, they're not easier, but they give you time to set up your mid game. So what we're gonna do is try to set up our mid game. So the first thing we're going to do is, well, one, we'll upgrade this village, but we're then going to get down an ice monkey. So normally towers can be placed like there's different types of towers. So there's land towers. So like this guy is a land tower. It can be placed on land, and this guy's a water tower and can be placed on water. Then there's this ice monkey, which was recently made to be amphibious. So it can be placed on both land and water. And then it has this middle path, which what it does is it allows all the water in its range to be frozen, which will then let us place land towers on top of the water. So we have this glue gunner that we want to place down. Kind of here, so that it has kind of centralized, it's able to like see the entire track. And so this glue gunner placement is why we want Etienne here, because it'll increase the glue gunner's range to do a pretty good job at covering all the entire map. Then here I got something called the Alchemist. The Alchemist, this top path Alchemist it's really, really strong. What it does is it gives a potion to a nearby tower and makes that tower a lot stronger. So this is the Berserker Brew. It's a very cheap way of making certain towers a lot better. So I definitely recommend using it if you're doing it. And then Etienne has this new ability called the UCAV. What this does is it creates this drone that like does some pretty solid damage. And yeah, so now we'll now basically what we're doing is I think we have our mid game kind of set up. So now what we're going to do is we're going to just make buy with all our abilities as we save up for the balloon solver. So which is the tier 5. So that as you buy upgrades, so there's tier 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and you can cross path it with 2 tiers. The tier 5 is kind of like the strongest version of that path of that tower. When you're doing these Chimps runs, you usually want to have at least one tier 5 generally more. Here we're gonna definitely get 2 tier 5s in this run. You saw in round 60 there's a stronger blimp, which is called the BFB, the red one. Those are fairly strong, so we need to use our abilities for that. And then the next big difficulty spike is round 63. So everything before round 63 was like a bunch of balloons and a bunch of blimps. But what round 63 has is it has a huge rush of ceramics, which a lot of defenses that can handle everything up to round 62 will not handle round 63. But we have this glue gunner, so this glue gunner handles it. Actually, it's like meant to handle rounds like 63. At least this top path one. Oh, and the glue gunner, we're gonna see the glue gunner a lot in all of our runs. Because the glue gunners are usually a good support tower, but the top path actually does damage. So the glue is meant to slow down balloons, but then if you go with the top path, then it actually does damage to balloons, so that's nice. And in particular, does really good damage to ceramics. It doesn't do that great of a job to blimps, but we'll have another solution for that. Yeah, and so now as we kind of save up for Balloon Solver, this would generally in GDQ would be a good time for donations in the actual GDQ run. And it's good to like mention that, I think, and or prepare for that in commentary. And hello everyone, yeah, I did get in to GDQ, which I was shocked by, so... So I do need to practice, and I do need to start streaming again, but or not streaming, at least practice, but I think streaming is nice. I kind of want to try to capitalize on it a bit if I can. It was actually really funny, my submission video didn't have commentary, so I haven't really practiced the commentary that well. Anyways, okay, so now the glue gunner, we got Balloon Solver, so that basically just... It's a Balloon Solver is a really fun tower. Like if you're playing this game, you should try to use it. So next up, we're going to upgrade our spike factory. So we got this. Right now, we have a Moab shredder. So the spikes do some good damage to the outer layers of Moabs. And when you hear people talk about Bloons Tower Defense 6, you hear people talk about synergies. So what synergy really means is that you have towers that kind of pair well with each other. And what happens is the Balloon Solver really excels at popping down regular balloons, but it does not do a good job at popping down these blimps or these Moabs, or specifically the big Moabs, like the big strong ones, which we'll see on round 80. So we want something that pops the outer layer of them so that the Balloon Solver can then handle the insides. And so what we're going to do for that is get a carpet of spikes, which will do a very good job at popping out the outer layers of Moabs. You can see, and so we got the upgrade before, which is the Spike Storm, which has an ability that will cover the entire map with these spikes that are designed to pop Moabs. So it's so the synergy. So that's what kind of the synergy is. We're going to use this Spike Storm or Carpet of Spikes to pop all the Moabs, and right now you can see that it's an active ability, which means I have to actually push this ability in order to cover the entire map with spikes, and then they disappear after a bit. But when we upgrade to Carpet of Spikes, the ability it will activate that ability to cover the entire map with spikes passively, which will be really nice. It's very pricey it's very pricey for what it does, but it's still a good synergy. So now we're starting to transition to the late game. Round 80 is kind of the next difficulty spike, because right now we have these BFBs. We also have fortified Moabs and fortified BFBs, like this one. It has like these these fortifications on it, which basically double the HP. It's that, and so here we're gonna Spike Storm, and you can see it popped the Zeo. So that's that green guy is the ZOMG. It popped it relatively quickly. So here. And now we're just doing our save up for Carpet of Spikes. Probably could read like one donation for it. Hope they stop the nerfs for it, yeah. But it didn't get nerfed last update, so it's okay. Alright, so we're gonna make do with some more billet with this UCAV to try to pop down these BFBs. Then here there's gonna be two ZOMGs, so what we're gonna do is use our Spike Storm first, and then we're gonna upgrade this to a Carpet of Spikes, which then it passively activated that ability again, and you're gonna see it's gonna consistently activate that ability passively, which is pretty nice. So, oh, there are these barriers on this map. They actually slow things down, because what you want to do is you want to try to be popping these balloons sort of as they, like, right when they enter, but these barriers prevent you from doing that. So removing them is good, but we're not really, but they're also very pricey to remove, so we weren't able to remove them until now. We're gonna then next get a Mermonkey, which is a very good way of making the Spike Factory better. Round 90 is usually the introduction to a very hard blimp that we have to deal with called the DDT, because they're very fast, they have lead and black properties, so they're not vulnerable to explosions. But Carpet of Spikes just obliterates them, so it's you barely even see them. They'll be much more of an issue in other maps, so. All right, now we're gonna get so we're gonna get an unusual tower for the late game. We're gonna start prepping for it. So the unstable concoction is actually pretty normal to get, but what we're gonna then do is upgrade it to a transforming tonic, which it basically gives it an ability that turns these guys into a cookie monster, which is kind of funny. We call it a cookie monster. I think it's just a funny name. Oh, fortified ZOMGs are kind of annoying, but... Alright, we'll turn them into cookie monsters. And then, yeah, and then round 100 has this big purple guy who takes a lot of damage, or it can be hard to pop him down sometimes, but our setup handles it okay. Okay, and so that's the first map done. So now we'll do the second map. So the second map is #ouch. This is not the hardest map, but at least of the strategies we're doing, this is the hardest strategy we're gonna do. I think. Doing 3 maps. No, GDQ I'm doing 4 maps, and Arlat I'm doing all 12. So you can see kind of in this map, where you have these 4 tracks that intersect in this hashtag pattern, and the balloons kind of move a bit kind of quickly. We're like gonna sort of barely survive. This is not an easy map, right? It's also kind of like I feel like this is kind of like the classic expert map. But anyway, so there's this big body of water in the middle, which you can actually remove, but we're going to not do that. Instead, what we're going to actually do is employ a water-based strategy. And with water-based strategies, we're going to use a different hero than Etienne. We're going to use Admiral Brickle, who has some very good benefits in water, which we'll see. So let's try to place her down. All right, so we place her down here. So the nice thing about Brickle is that she has two abilities. One ability provides a very substantial attack and damage, like a big damage and attack. I think a big buff to your water towers. It makes them a lot stronger for its small amount of time, which is very nice. We'll see an example in a bit. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There we go. So you see everything's glowing. So yeah, and it lets them temporarily pop like all balloon types as well. It's very nice. All right, and we're gonna use it again here. There we go. We have to pop that camo, so I need to get that upgraded in time. Okay, so the main tier 5s we're gonna go with are gonna be, the first one is this boat that I just placed, or the monkey buccaneer. I'm gonna call it a boat, it's just easier to say. It's gonna turn into our first tier 5 down the line. Oh, whoops. Let's also do this. So first what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to turn this guy into a destroyer. So what the boat does, it has these cannons on, or these guns on each side, not necessarily cannons. And then we got grape shot, so it has like it basically shoots a lot of projectiles on each side, and so it's actually a very good tower for this map in particular, because you want to be shooting in like multiple directions on this map. And then when we upgrade to a destroyer, it's actually a very cheap way of getting just a lot of effective damage on this map. So it's going to be very strong here. And then we're going to upgrade it later as well to something even better. Whoa. There we go. All right, so now we'll get another, so next up we're going to get another boat, and this is going to turn into our second tier 5 later on, and we'll see just how important these tier 5s are later on, so. But basically right now our towers, when we get to round 40, are not going to really be able to handle round 40 by themselves, but Brickle's naval tactics ability will handle that, so. Or we'll let them handle that very easily, actually. Like that. So, and now because we don't have Etienne, our camo detection for these boats doesn't exist. So a very common way of getting camo detection is with this village. So we'll get that. And then, yeah, now, so next we're going to save up for the aircraft carrier. We'll see what that looks like in a bit, but this is probably another good donation read time. Anyways, how y'all doing? Up to 5 a.m. All right, so the aircraft carrier kind of builds on top of this destroyer. What it does is it keeps the same like projectiles that show up, but then it also creates these planes that fly around and damage and like destroy everything. So that's actually very nice because it gives this tower global range, and global range is very nice on especially on speed runs for destroying things quickly or popping things quickly. And so now we upgraded the second boat to Monkey Pirates, and it does decent damage in Pierce, but the real reason why we got it is for this grappling hook. What the grappling hook does is it lets you, it basically lets you insta-kill blimps. So this blimp on the right, we insta-kill that, which is a very fast way of accelerating to the next round. So it's a very important speedrun tower for this map. So right now it pops. Right now it will pull in the regular blue Moabs. It'll also pull in the red Moabs. Oh, whoops. But it doesn't pop it. It won't pull in the green ones until we upgrade it further. And then when we upgrade it, we're gonna upgrade it to Pirate Lord, which lets it pull in multiple small Moabs, and it lets it pull in I think up to 6 small Moabs, and then 2 ZOMGs. In order to make these guys a little bit better as well with their main attack, we're also gonna get a Mermonkey. This Mermonkey actually makes a really big difference. With regards to how this setup handles the mid and late game. And then we'll see on round 60 that we will... Oh, whoops, I did not mean to do that. Okay, it's okay. I think we'll see, yeah, around 60 we should get the cooldown back. And insta-kill, there we go. Alright, and then we've also unlocked a new Brickle ability, which is the Megamind, which is actually probably the best ability in the game. Or one of the best abilities, best hero ability. In like really high level Chimps games, what this does is it basically does a huge blows up like Moabs and does huge damage to them. It's very powerful, so what people try to do is they try to stack as many of them as possible. It's called mind stacking. And so what they do is they try to stall out rounds so that you get the cooldown back. And then you're able to sort of pop down big Moabs really well. We're not doing that here because this is a speed run. We don't want to stall things out too much. But yeah, and so now what we're going to do is we're trying to save up for this carrier flagship. So this would also be like another good donation time to read. Got a night shift job, 6 to 6. That's unfortunate. Night shift jobs are not good for you. But hopefully you still have fulfillment in your life. So the carrier flagship, it's like the aircraft carrier, except the stats are all ramped up. And it also has a few other properties. And then on my end, well, it's gonna be in person in Pittsburgh, and the internet is not gonna. I mean, if the internet crashes, like this is a massive marathon that raises a ton of money for charity. Should we rebrand it? Oh yeah, yeah. I think I saw you. I saw your stream. So thanks. I hope you're. I guess are you leave or are you discharged? Alright, so this, so the one thing about, so the carrier flagship's really nice, so you can place towers on top of it if you wanted to. We're not going to do that. It also provides, I think, an attack speed buff to water towers, which is pretty cool. It also provides an attack speed buff to monkey aces, which we're not really going to use in this map. Honorable discharge, nice. So you're free to the real world. Hope your adjustment goes well. Oh, good internet. That's awesome. Yeah, so round 78 has 2 ceramic rushes. One little trick you can do for that is with Brickle is to use naval tactics for the first rush, and then the cooldown will come back in time for the next rush. So see here, use it here. It just keeps it very safe. I have died 78 before with this setup, which is kind of weird. Yeah, I noticed, but yeah. Well, as long as you're having fun. There is a collection event now. Oh, I forgot to use it there. It's okay. Oh, it ended? No, it hasn't. I thought that there was another... Oh, maybe... Oh, yeah, it did end. Whatever. Oh, well. There'll be another one. There are lots of collection events. Alright, so round 80, naval tactics will melt it. Ending in 2 hours. That's what I thought. Okay, there we go. Gosh, you and your misleading... Ooh, that was actually really scary. Oh. So one issue with Megamind is it does create a lot of ceramics that you sometimes aren't able to handle, but, you know. And then we can use the hook to pull in... So now we got Pirate Lord, so we can use the hook to get in 3 BFBs, which is pretty cool. Alright, so now we're going to actually get a 3rd tier 5. It's a pretty cheap one. We're going to get another glue gunner, but this time we're going to upgrade the middle path. So what the middle path does is it we're gonna get glue strike, and so it has this ability, and what this ability does is when we use it, it what we call debuffs. It makes balloons that are covered in the glue take more damage, and it's even Moabs. It doesn't slow down the Moabs, but it does slow down. It does slow down like regular balloons as well. But the main thing is the debuff, and it also de-leads them. So. Alright, and so now... Oh, whoops, I gotta get this. And so now we upgraded to the tier 5, which is Glue Storm, which is the same ability, but it lasts substantially longer. In fact, it's kind of an assault to your eyes when you're... I'm gonna just do that a little early. And so this, so the 90s actually get very hard. We have to like kind of pretty precisely juggle our abilities, which is kind of annoying. All right. And yeah, the DDTs, so the nice thing about Glue Storm is it makes it so that our towers can pop them, because it makes it basically gets rid of the bunch of properties that make us unable to pop them. Okay, cool. Ah! No! No! Oh no, that sucks. Okay. Alright, whatever. Alright, so that's that. I don't know. So at the end, we got a first strike, which is a good way of doing round 100 damage, but I messed up the timing. You can actually layer skip it so that you don't spawn any of the insides. Alright, so this is Bloody Puddles, which used to have a really, really awful start to the map, but then they introduced this new monkey called the Desperado, which makes it a lot easier. And so as a result, this is actually like one of the easier maps in this run. Oh, whoops. Oh, shoot. Oh, crap. So we're actually going to do an interesting strategy here called the Axis of Havoc. So what the Axis of Havoc is, it's actually an achievement in this game where you get all tier 5 snipers. So you'll see some... We've used snipers, but only for the early game. But it's also just a legitimately good synergy, I think. It's a good strategy that applies to a lot of maps, including this one, which is like one of the hardest maps in the game. But it actually makes this map extremely easy once you actually do it. But right now we're just doing the early game. And where's this? All right, and then our main early game again is going to be the sub to do the good damage. Sorry, let me pull up my notes as well. So here what we're going to do is, as our hero, we're using a different hero. We're using Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn's a support hero. What she does is so Gwendolyn's a pyromaniac. She loves fire, like really, really loves fire. Like I don't even know how to describe how much she loves fire. Like fire is her jam. Like so much her jam. Oh, this guy. There we go. But she also, so what happens is, like, though, as she levels up, she'll actually provide a damage buff to all towers within her range. If every 40 shots that she fires, and then the amount of time that buff lasts increases as the round goes on. So when you pair it with snipers, it's actually it makes the snipers quite a lot stronger. Oh, why? Oh shoot, that's a mistake. I hope I didn't mess up. I think I messed up, actually. I wasn't supposed to get triple guns this early, I don't think, but I think it might be okay. Oh, all right. Okay, that's all right, we got we were okay. It was actually okay. It's just we did want camo just in case for like RNG prevention, I guess. We're gonna get these glue gunners down. This is just to make things a little more consistent for round 40, because round 40 can still be a problem. All right, Gwendolyn's like that. Then what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to wait to upgrade this to Berserker Brews, because that'll, otherwise we'll die to round 40. There we go. There we go. Good. Good, good, good. So I haven't mentioned this yet, but so with villages, you can get this discount path, which basically makes a lot of the towers in the range a lot cheaper. You can save quite a bit of money by doing that. So definitely recommend doing that if you can. It's not always obvious like when you save money versus when you spend money, but oh. But yeah, so now we're basically trying to build into our sniper strategy. So we're gonna get the semi-auto, but then the main tier, the first tier 5 that you should usually go for in an Axis of Havoc strategy is the elite sniper. It's a very underrated sniper. A lot of people don't use it. A lot of people really like the elite defender, which we'll see later. But I think the elite sniper is probably I think that's the best one, personally, although not a lot of people agree. But the nice thing about it, so the elite sniper is good at taking out groups of balloons, or it's not good at it, but it's meant to take out groups of balloons, because we have this bouncing bullet, which basically it hits a balloon and then the bullet will bounce to other balloons automatically, so it's actually very nice. Supply drop is an upgrade to that, which is actually very expensive for what it gives you. The reason why is because it actually also has this ability that gives you a crate of money, but because we're doing chimps, we don't actually make money, so it's like this is the best ability of the run because it's going to give us a crate full of $0. Very cool. In fact, let's see here. Let's try it. Right here. There's a crate, $0. Nice. So, but yeah. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna upgrade this to elite sniper, and then we're gonna then upgrade this guy after that. So this also in actual GDQ would be a great time for donations. By the way, we need to like in this marathon. So it's a charity marathon. You need to read donations like every 15 minutes or so. And basically like between rounds, like late 50s to early 70s, there's usually nothing going on, so that's why it actually works out decently to do that. A good luck crate, yeah, exactly. So the elite sniper here, it does a few things. So one is it has like its own attack, which is not bad, but then it also provides an attack speed buff to all other snipers. So that's the main reason why you wanted to build into it first. So that's that. Oh, sorry, I was supposed to get an alchemist for it because the elite sniper is not very good without an alchemist. So. But with an alchemist, this round 60p ceramic rush gets handled pretty well. Oh, this should be on first. Yeah, so now we're just saving up for Elite Defender. Elite Defender is everybody's favorite sniper because it just fires so quickly. It's like really easy to understand. It's just lots of medium damage, very fast. So, like I mentioned, Gwendolyn provides a buff to these snipers every 40 shots, but then she also has this Firestorm ability which sets fire to all the balloons on screen, and then it also applies that buff, it's called the heated up buff, to every tower on screen. So anytime Gwen's not firing but you need extra damage, you can use that, which is what I'm doing to kind of help speed things up a bit. Yeah, so when we say Gwen is a support hero, it's because you don't really get her for her attacks. You get her because she buffs the towers around her to kind of a really nice degree. So it's pretty nice. Hey, House, how are you doing? Okay, so then you can see it shoots very fast, so it's pretty cool. I think it's an overrated sniper, but it does fire fast and it's very satisfying. So with discount villages, one thing that's very common to do is to actually get 2 of them, and then it applies a double discount to this. So you can see it says X2 for this Alchemist upgrade, so some of our upgrades are going to be cheaper. It discounts only up to the tier 3, but it can save a lot of money. This. So now we're gonna start building into the 3rd sniper, which is the top path. So deadly precision. What this is gonna be? This is gonna be the main Moab, or I guess cripple Moab, at the end of by the time we get to the tier 5. And what this does is, so main Moab is it stalls stalls blimps and does extra damage to blimps. As you can kind of tell by the name. And then cripple Moab, it does that. Cripple Moab also does a debuff on the Moabs it hits. It also has like a little bit of an explosion, so it actually damages more than just the Moab. So it's a nice tower, especially for round 100. And then, so when you're doing an Axis of Havoc strategy, you're not able to actually just get down 3 snipers and win a lot of the time. You have to invest in ceramic cleanup as well. So one very common way of doing that with the Axis of Havoc is to get these to spam bouncing bullet snipers with an alchemist on them. They will actually be able to pop down the ceramics in the late game. So, that's nice. And so then you notice there's like this truck here, which is a line of sight blocker, so we're gonna remove it. Oh, the helicopter that tried to remove it, crashed, so we have to spend extra money to remove both of them. I always thought that was very funny. When you first play the map and you try to remove a barrier and it like creates another barrier, it's just very funny. So now we're getting the bottom path glue. So we haven't seen this one yet. We saw the other paths, which is interesting. This is actually the best glue path, or the most commonly used, because it's the Moab glue path, so it actually slows down the blimps. whereas the other glue paths do not slow down the blimps. And slowing down blimps is actually like a huge deal. And then there's an additional upgrade on top of it called the Relentless Glue. What that does is every time a Moab pops, all of the balloons that are inside of it, that spawn inside of it, get stunned for a small amount of time. So that's actually really helpful on this. And then the next support that we're getting is the Moab Press, these boomerangs. So this is called the Moab Press. What this does is it actually knocks back Moabs. So you can see here, they actually move backwards at some point, which is extremely strong. These are really good support towers for... wait, what happened? Oh, sorry, I need this. Sorry, we need to get camo on the village because we need this elite defender to pop the DDTs. And then round 93 is always a bit sketchy, but it's very, very safe when you use Gwen's ability. So we do not want to use the ability here, even though it would speed it up quite a bit. We need to save it for 93. And so the way that this strategy is kind of set up, it's kind of a very interesting setup, and it's kind of what one thing you want to think about doing in multi-lane maps. So what we're doing is we're using these boomerangs and glue to stall out the left side, and as they're stalling out, our snipers will target the other lane because their snipers are targeting the first balloons that are furthest down the track. So then you kind of, by stalling out one lane, you kind of turn a multi-lane map into a single lane map, kind of. And that's a very common way of dealing with multi-lane maps. So, I mean, I don't know if you noticed, this map sure has a lot of lanes, doesn't it? This is not an easy map, and you kind of have to manage the lanes. They're pretty interestingly. So let's get this. We'll upgrade this to Cripple Moab. It'll do some pretty big Moab damage to these guys. And then these fortified ZOMGs are... Actually, so right now, this setup will handle the rest of the run without doing anything, but we're going to still get a first strike to kind of accelerate things. So this is actually just how good this strategy is. It's able to do one of the hardest maps in the game with like, fairly easily with a lot of cash spare. And then round 100. Oh, no. Okay, that's okay. Okay, ooh, collection event. You said it was over. Alright, now we'll do the last map, which is Ravine. So fun fact, Ravine has one of the most precise dart monkey placements, or has the most precise dart monkey placements, and this map actually used to be impossible when it was first released. Because even with these precise dart monkey placements, you would lose to round 7, but then Ninja Kiwi added a thing that would make it not impossible. So that's oh no. Oh. That means the placement of the top dart monkey was wrong, I think. I'm gonna just assume this is gonna work. Oh no, dude. Oh, this sucks. All right, so the thing that makes this possible now is there's this sword that lets us pop this green balloon that would normally leak with these 3 dart monkeys. So that's cool. And then we have to kind of place down a bunch of dart monkeys in order to just survive this level. It's pretty miserable. And this 5th dart monkey is actually pretty hard to do quickly, but I think we got it. We don't know until round 11, actually, if we got it. So that's something. And so here, so in this map we're using, all right, so actually let's cross our fingers for round 11 to see if we survived. This hero we're using Geraldo. Geraldo's a very different hero from what we've seen in the past. Okay, good. So in the past, we had these heroes that did quite a bit of damage, and they also had these abilities that would kind of let you kind of get through these tougher rounds. Geraldo does not have any of those. He has a kind of a weak attack, but he does have a shop, and he has no abilities, but he does have a shop that you can use to buy items with. So like we can buy these spikes, which are some good RNG prevention. And then we can buy these turrets, which are basically like better versions of dart monkeys. So basically what you do is you have some pretty high value, cheap towers that you can get that you would normally have to spend a lot more money to get something equivalent for. All right, then. Yeah. This. One really good item he has is this glue. It's basically if you find yourself dying to a round, you can just chuck a glue and then you'll usually survive. It's pretty broken. It used to be more broken before it got price nerfed, but. Oops. Okay, and then let's see here. So now in the early game, one very common setup for these black border, these chimp strategies is to get this spike factory here and set it to smart so it like automatically puts the spikes in the right spot. Geraldo also has this potion that lets one tower detect camo for a few rounds, which is very helpful. Let's get this. So the general strategy we're gonna kind of see, but right now we're not really we're just doing the early game. We got to chuck a glue here. To not die. And then the very common setup is to then get a second spike factory over here. So having these 2 spike factories, it's very common to do. So round 40 is generally still a problem, but Geraldo has has items that will help with it. So in particular, what we're going to use for round 40 is this blade trap, which you can see here. I don't know, not much to say, but it does a decent job against the round 40, let's just say. Alright, if I wanted to be safe, I'd put a glue, but I'm going to try to not do it. Usually you have this monkey ace that hits it. Oh, I do need a glue here, though. Let's do this. So now what we're going to do is go into our mid game. So our mid game is going to be very interesting. So one is this, we're going to get this monkey ace. So the monkey ace is usually kind of an annoying tower because it shoots darts, but it shoots them outwards that never hit anything. But there's an upgrade for it called never miss targeting, which makes the darts actually not miss everything. So that's cool. Camo potion for all these camos. Then the next tower that we're gonna try to get is this another monkey ace. This monkey ace is we're gonna go with the top path, which the point of the top path is to excel at popping blimps. So that's nice. All right, and then so round 51, Geraldo's gonna have this nice item in his shop called a bunny, so you can buy a pet bunny for $1,890. It doesn't do anything, but we're gonna buy it anyway. So we're gonna upgrade this bottom monkey ace to Operation Dartstorm. It does quite a decent amount of Moab damage. Pretty good. And we like the bunny so much we're gonna buy a second one. Got a camo potion to get this, and we like the bunny so much, let's buy a third one. Still doesn't do anything, but they look cute, right? And then we'll buy a fourth one as well on around 59. Yeah, and then so when we buy the fourth one, the bunny turns into this monster that jumps around and pops everything. So it's a reference to Monty Python, the Holy Grail, where there's this rabbit that like bites people's heads off. It looks so unassuming at first, but yeah, bites everyone's heads off. So this bunny is actually going to serve as some very good ceramic cleanup and also Moab damage. So the combination of this bunny, the Never Miss monkey ace to do sort of general damage, and this other monkey ace, which does does Moab damage, the synergy is decent for the mid game. And then we'll kind of use Geraldo items to kind of fill in any gaps, which is the whole point of them, is to have these items to fill in gaps. Whoa, do not want to put one of those down yet. So when we're waiting for Geraldo's level 13, because then we get these upgraded turrets, which we're going to then try to place down. We're going to place 4 of them down. But yeah, in the meantime, I think right now, we're now just kind of doing our save up. The next, like, really difficult round is going to be round 75. That's when things start to get tricky, so this would also be a good donation time in a... Whoops. Need to at least place 1. So these turrets are just really good value for their price. They cost $270, but they do some pretty good damage for their price. So they are actually worth using. People used to think they weren't good at all, but they're actually very good. Round 72 can be a little sketchy. What we're going to do is we're going to prepare a glue right here, just in case if the EFB pops in that direction and the bunny doesn't catch it. But it did, so we're okay. We don't need to spend that extra money. Alright, yeah, donation. Alright, so round 75, we're going to use something called a creepy idol. What this creepy idol does is it blows back regular balloons, and it can also stun Moabs now at this point. Around 70, and then what we're also going to do is we're going to give the monkey ace a jar of pickles. So what that does is that slows down the attack speed of a tower, but also increases the damage. And for some towers, that's actually a really good thing. So, and in particular, it's going to be good for this Never Miss Monkey Ace for sort of these ceramic rushes that are going to be coming up on round 78. And round 78, we have to do actually quite a bit of prep for the ceramic rushes. So we're putting down a bunch of creepy idols to blow back the balloons, and then the second. Oh, what? No way. Oh, I forgot a glue. Okay, that's why. And then the second ceramic rush is a camo rush, so we're going to actually have to camo potion these, or Monkey Ace and Geraldo as well. If you camo potion Geraldo, then all of his items will get camo detection. And so the main thing is we want these creepy idols to have camo detection so that we can pop those down. Also, I think the bunny gets extra camo popping power. It already pops camos, but the extra camo popping power is important, so... So now the next concern is round 80, but round 80 we can just handle with another blade trap. Round 81 is... I've never died to round 81, but I assume that it is possible. Then what we're trying to do is we're trying to upgrade to our main tier 5 damage dealer, because we have a lot of money saved up. The tier 5 we're trying to get is Sky Shredder. So you have the Operation Dart Storm. It shoots darts out in all directions, quite a few darts out in all directions, and it also shoots missiles that damage the Moabs. When we get Sky Shredder, it does the same thing, but better, so we do want that. There we go, and now you see there's lots of darts, lots and lots of darts, and pretty strong missiles. So it's a pretty solid tower here. And so now what we're going to do is invest in support. So the support we're going to get first is a Relentless Glue. And then, let's also get let's get more turrets. They're good, like I said, good value for their price. We're also going to get some Moab presses, which we saw in Bloody Puddles. Alright, and then round 89, we're gonna... There's like a shop refresh that happens on round 90, when Geraldo gets to level 20. So we actually want to use this camo potion now on this glue gunner before that happens. Oops. And we want to quickly camo potion this guy and this guy. Alright, so we got a second Moab press. We also get Jerry's fires, which are, I mean, they're a thing. You can do a little bit of extra damage. Then our next support tower is going to be the Shattering Shells. What this does is it defortifies, so there's some Moabs that are fortified, which have double HP, and then if you defortify them with the Shattering Shells, it reduces their HP, which is really important for going fast. So we'll try to get that during this round. This round can be kind of sketchy, but the creepy idols should help a lot. There we go. It also decamos, which is another thing about this mortar. Alright, and let's chuck a glue here for a little bit of safety. Oh, and then we need to get a submarine, so for round 100 we need to... we're gonna need the first strike again for dealing with round 100. And then round 98 with Geraldo is pretty nice because you can use these, you can get these two genies, which are very, very strong. Glue here, glue here. Alright, and then round 100, oh, whoops. That was unfortunate, but... Yeah, so what we did with round 100 is Geraldo has these potions called Reju potions, which basically eliminate all ability cooldowns, and this lets you use 3 first strikes for the round 100, which is a huge deal, actually. So yeah. Yeah, so that's the run. So thanks everyone for watching. I really appreciate you being here.